someone not being ready for you, someone not being the one for you, someone not treating you right or giving you what you truly deserve does not actually mean anything about you. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you're not deserving. It doesn't mean that you're never going to find someone. That's really just a representation of what they're ready for and of what they feel that they are deserving of. I need you to get real. Is this person aligning with where you're going? Is this person's values? Is this person's actions? Is this person's morals really aligning with where you are going? Not even with where you are right now, but with where you are going. Because if it's not for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Just Like Magic with Julia. If you have watched some of my last couple of videos, you know I've been kind of going through it. All of the videos that I make for Just Like Magic are really based on my own experience. Yes, I do have a skill set and a trained skill set at that for the things that we talk about on this channel, but also a lot of what I make videos and content about come from personal experience. So I know I posted a video about having to keep going even when you really just want to stop, and really just seeking emotional and mental clarity. And so I'm happy to say that today I'm feeling very good. I'm back into my own energy and I feel realigned, and hopefully I get to spread that to you today with this video. So this is for my girlies who may have found themselves in a little situation, maybe with a person, probably with a person, or maybe with a job. Honestly, the message is interchangeable and can be applied to any situation. But this really is about having to let something or someone, probably someone, go in order to gain yourself back. Now, before we get into it, because trust and believe me, we have a lot to get into today, I'm going to need you to subscribe to this channel because I hope to never let you go. Because trust me, I value you. I value all of my gems. So please subscribe to this channel so you never miss a beat. Become a gem. You found your home, okay? If you like to talk or discuss mindset, self-love, faith, and just overall want to attract your dreams and your dream life, what better place to do so than Just Like Magic? Because when you stick around, when you subscribe, and when you watch a few videos, you will be creating your dream life just like magic. Okay, let's get into it. So as you can see today, I'm feeling very energetic. I'm back into my energy. If you know, you know, I have my Virgo chain on because I'm calling in my Virgo energy. I need it today. I need to get some things organized, some things done. So I need all of that Virgo goddess vibes, okay? But let me tell you how I got back here because honestly, like I said before, it was kind of rocky the past couple of weeks. I'm not gonna lie. I was going through a lot mentally, emotionally, and I was actually really starting to feel quite exhausted. So, in order for me to actually give you the tea and give you the steps on how to let go and why it's important, I need to kind of give you the tea about what's been going on with me because I need to let you into my life so that you know I'm actually applying the things that I'm telling you to do on this channel. But basically, over the past couple of months, as you can guess, I became emotionally involved with someone romantically, and that person is an amazing person. I'm not going to share names. I'm not going to share details because I would never do them like that. But basically, I feel like a lot of girls, myself included, are the type of girls who, once we're emotionally invested, it's really hard to let go. Once you've climbed the walls of my standards, once you've climbed the walls of my self-worth, and you make it past all of that, once you're in, you're really locked in with me. Like, I'll care about you to a flaw sometimes. And that's just because I'm not a type of person who just welcomes anyone and everyone into my life. But with that being said, I'm also learning that that's not a good enough reason to keep people there. So basically, because I was emotionally invested into the situation, once it started kind of going south, not panning out the way I had idealized it would or hoped it would, I really began to feel disappointed. I began to feel disappointed in the fact that that person wasn't really acting the way that they once did when, we first started getting to know each other. I started getting disappointed when they weren't really coming through on their word, or when their actions weren't matching up with who they claimed that they were. And I think naturally it's disappointing when someone just starts to let you down, when you really began to open up emotionally, when you began to have mutual feelings for that person, or when you began to kind of idealize it. And this doesn't even have to be romantically, like I'm sharing my experience, but this can be a friendship, this can be a family member, it can really just be anything or anyone. And so when the disappointment started to arise, it really started to invoke this anxiety that lived in me that I didn't even know existed, honestly. What I noticed was, instead of accepting the disappointment, accepting what was happening for what it was, really looking at the situation clearly, I started to take that anxiety that was living within me, all of my anxious thoughts, all of my self doubt thoughts, all of my insecure thoughts, and I started to spiral and really start to cling. So it kind of felt like, like when you're playing a game of Uno and, you're winning, but someone hits the Uno reverse. So initially that person is in the lead, you're winning, but then someone hits the Uno reverse and they can steal the game. That's literally what happened energetically. Like, I felt that happening. I felt like I was being pursued, I was being chased. And then because this narrative started to change slowly, and I did not accept it and see it for what it was, and in addition to that, I started to blame myself, the energy actually started to change. The Uno reverse put him in the lead for a little while. I still won, don't worry. And we do this sometimes. Like, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, despite your gender, despite your sex, we as human beings cling to people that we feel emotionally are disappointing us, maybe even emotionally are pulling away, as a form of control, honestly. Because what does it say about us if this person is pulling away from us, right? Our brains are quite literally programmed to go to the worst case scenario. And sometimes it's really hard to accept that a match wasn't compatible, or that that person isn't meant to be your one true love, or in your life as a friend, or as close as you once were as a cousin or a niece or a family member. So we cling to prevent ourselves from feeling pain. We prevent this concept of loss. Now, if you are watching this video and you have not been clinging, good, don't do it. If you can prevent yourself from clinging, please do. And if you have, that's also okay. Like I said, I was the one who did that, and it really didn't help me get my end goal, right? Like, I still had to face the reality of the situation and let it go. If you've already done it, that's okay. Like I said, so did I. But there comes a point where you have to get real with yourself, and you have to check in with whether or not your needs are really getting met. Like I said, that Uno reverse of energy is a real concept. When I started clinging to that control, when I started trying to put more into the dynamic of the relationship to prevent loss, to prevent anxiety, to prevent pain, I really was depriving myself of actual freedom, of permission to let go, of the fact that there will be other options for myself. There will be other friends, there will be other jobs, there will be other romantic partners. And I began to try to compensate, overcompensate for what was being pulled away from me. So that meant that boundaries, my boundaries, were being crossed. That meant that I began to start lacking in my routines. Now, if you know me, Virgo energy, okay, you know I love a good routine. Honestly, if you put me on an island and I had to stay there for maybe like 3 months by myself with all of my stuff, like, I'm not doing that crusty 3 item little island game. But if you told me that I could just be there for 3 months, maybe have some Wi-Fi once a week, check in with the people that I love, but be there by myself on a nice little beach with all of my belongings, I'm fine, because I have my routine. I really love doing things for me. And when I saw that my routines were taking a hit, that was a huge red flag for me, because I was starting to sacrifice my needs for that person. In addition to that, my mental space was being invaded. Like I was starting to think about them, the situation, what I needed to be doing, if I was enough, if I wasn't enough, if that person really cared for me. And literally my thoughts were being hijacked. Like I felt like I wasn't even me because I was living in this mental confusion and fog. And that is sign number one. Like every other sign I'm saying, yes, they are very true, but that is like red flag number one. I truly believe that, yes, like confusion sometimes is a part of life, but honestly, if you're in something healthy, if you're in something that is for you, there will not be that much fog. There will not be that much confusion because you will know that you are meant where you belong. And that's the crazy thing. That's why it was so hard for me to let go of the situation because I felt that in the beginning. Like I said, those emotions came into play. And I'm sure those emotions are probably coming into play for you. You probably have history, you probably have chemistry with the people that you're thinking of letting go. And it's not easy. It's not a 1, 2, 3, okay, I did it kind of concept. It's really, really hard to want to detach from a person who you care about and who once cared about you or still does care about you. But you can't give up yourself for other people. You can't sacrifice your needs, yourself, your liveliness, your energy, your boundaries for someone else. You cannot be the only one present in a relationship and in any relationship, in a career relationship, in a family relationship, friendship, romantic partnership. Every relationship you have to have has to be mutual. And if you're showing up more for a person than they are for you, that is a sign that you are overcompensating. Now, listen, like I say in all my videos, don't take what I say out of context. There, of course, are times in life where we will have to be the friend that shows up for our friend more than they can show up for us in moments where they're going through something. But if there starts to become a pattern present of you just genuinely doing more than the other person is doing 9 out of 10 times, then it's not going to match up. You're not going to be receiving anything from the connection. Let's dive a little bit deeper into why we even do these things in the first place. And the truth is, all roads lead to lack mindset. And again, I'm not coming for you in this video because I just went through this as well. Keep that in mind. So, of course, we're human. Of course, we don't just want to throw people who we've invested time, emotions, effort into out of our lives. But a huge part of the reason why we don't let go of people and we do know it's time at our core is because we are fearful, we are scared, we are anxious about something. Now, whether that something has to do with whether or not you're capable of attracting another person into your life, whether or not you're worthy, whether or not you're deserving, those feelings all come from a place of lack. And when you operate from a place of lack, you cannot attract abundance. You deserve to get your needs met. You deserve to have friends who show up for you. You deserve to have family who genuinely care about you. You deserve to have relationships that are not just one-way streets. You deserve to have people show up for you and give you the best that there is to have in life. And if someone isn't meeting your needs, or if the only way the connection is surviving is by you putting in more and sacrificing, you need to let them go. And I know that that's really hard. You know, I get it. Like I said before, I'm someone who really gets emotionally invested in the relationships that I have in my life. I have a really close-knit circle. I don't let anyone just come into my circle, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, whether it's friends. And so once you're in, it really feels like you're close to me. It really feels like you're touching my heart because I don't just let anyone in. Like I said, you got to climb some walls. But at the point that I'm at, I rather detach from someone who I'm seeing red flags from that I've known for a couple of months or even a year than to overlook the red flags, put in tireless effort, sacrifice my own needs, sacrifice myself, lose myself, because honestly, that was a huge part of what I was feeling. I felt like I was just disappearing. Honestly, like I couldn't even get in touch with my own core thoughts, my own core beliefs. I rather cry over that period of time with that person. Even honestly, even if they've been in my life for years and years and years, I rather do it now, cry, mourn it, than to have someone in my circle in my life weighing me down to the point where I now feel out of touch with myself, or to the point where I can't trust that person to show up for me. It's almost like a dead end. I don't want that in my life because I know that there are so many fulfilling, beautiful relationships that are just waiting for me once I actually release the ones that no longer serve me. I rather feel the feels of mourning those relationships than to waste more time. And guess what? Someone not being ready for you, someone not being the one for you, someone not treating you right or giving you what you truly deserve does not actually mean anything about you. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you're not deserving. It doesn't mean that you're never going to find someone. That's really just a representation of what they're ready for and of what they feel that they are deserving of. And I think that we just get really caught up in the I of it all. I must not be enough. I must be controlling. That thing that my fourth grade teacher told me about me being too bossy is true because this person doesn't want to love me. Your brain will start to play tricks on you, but do not listen. In life, you have to be willing to let go and to have faith that there is more for you out there when something isn't serving you anymore. Furthermore, we're all growing, okay? We're all growing into versions of ourselves that are in alignment with our dreams, in alignment with what we really want, in alignment with where God or whatever higher power you believe in has us positioned and purposed for. And so, just like I had to do, I need you to get real. Is this person aligning with where you're going? Is this person's values? Is this person's actions? Is this person's morals really aligning with where you are going? Not even with where you are right now, but with where you are going. Because if it's not for you. It's just not. And it's time to let them go. For me, that person that I was dealing with wasn't aligning, but I was scared because I really felt a genuine connection. And, when you have friends, when you have romantic interests that really spark that genuine nature within you and awake some emotion within you, you don't just want to toss it to the side. But there came a point where I was exhausted and I was depriving myself of what I needed, all because he was not ready. He was not the person for me. And because I was clinging to control and because I didn't want to accept it, I was prolonging it and blaming myself when in reality, that was never even the case. And honestly, when it felt good, it felt really good, which is what kept me there for so long. Like when that connection invokes that intimacy, that feeling, right? Like when you trust someone, when you care about someone genuinely, it's not easy to put yourself first. That person means something to you. But people who are meant to be in your life will never require you to throw your needs to the side. What are you doing at the expense of yourself in these relationships? Because for me, like I said, I was absent in my routines. I wasn't eating the best. I wasn't even sleeping quality sleep anymore, which is exactly why I knew I had to let this go. And if letting it go for you is too intimidating right now, that's okay because this concept is really hard, especially when you care about someone. But if that's too big for you to kind of focus on, think about just loosening your grip right now. Have self compassion. This is a process and you have to process all of the feels through it all. It's okay to miss that person. It's okay to care about them and to feel like you don't want to do this, but to know that it's the way to go. Some things that helped me during this process were really getting in touch with me. I had to hear my own voice again because everything about the situation was drowning out my own voice. I had to pick up books about connecting to my subconscious and visualization during this process, even though I didn't even want to read anymore because reading is something that I enjoyed doing and I didn't even want to do things that felt good to me. I had to journal, even though I didn't even want to write. Be nice to yourself during this process because it's the only way that you're going to get through it and come out on the other side glowing and stronger. And being nice to yourself doesn't mean you have to be mean to anyone else. You can still go through this phase and this process of letting go without being mean, without hurting another individual, but by prioritizing yourself and your needs. And to be honest with you, while I was processing, I discovered this phrase of emotional hangover, which is exactly what I was experiencing. And really, an emotional hangover is even when you decide to let someone go, right? It can still feel exhausting. Like you're feeling the effects of having such a deeply rooted connection with someone and then letting it go. Even if there were bad times present, even if it wasn't all great, even if you know that you still love them and have to do what's best for you. There are so many reasons why something or someone needs to be released. But despite the reason, it doesn't make it easier. Letting go isn't just a one-time decision that you make. It really is a daily practice, and it's one that requires a lot of intention and focus on you. Now, girls, okay, this is where I'm going to talk to you. I know that in our head sometimes we put the focus on that person, right? And so maybe if you're thinking about a specific friends or romantic partner, you may be like, oh, well, how are they gonna take it? And do they still care about me? And are they gonna come back? And if I let them go, they're not gonna care about me. I'm gonna lose them forever. This person's not gonna like me, and da 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 da, and your minds will go crazy. And while it's completely normal and completely human to wonder about them or to try to predict the future, because this is a scary process, we have to refocus, we have to reframe, and we have to shift your perspective from them and everyone else to yourself. Because let me tell you something. I said this in another video. The only person that is with you throughout every single phase of your life, with you when you come into this earth and with you when you leave it, is you. And so you have to do what's best for you, despite anyone else. Now, the way that you choose to do it, with kindness, with compassion, or with the opposite, is completely up to you. And I completely am in favor, despite any situation that you're in, to really promote emotional wisdom and to choose your higher self, which sometimes is doing things from a place of kindness so that you know you can still sleep at night and know that you gave it your all and didn't let anyone take away your grace. But you know what? But that is up for you to discern. Everyone knows their own situation. And if you feel like being stern is going to get you out of that situation seamlessly, do that. Like I was saying, letting go is a daily practice. So there are going to be days where you wake up and you feel that emotional hangover and you still wonder about the what ifs. In those moments, choose you, journal. In those moments when you sense that your mind is starting to drift onto what he's doing or what she's doing or what they're thinking, you have to reframe and bring the focus back to you. It's not about what they're doing or what they're thinking. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Focus on you. Start to dip into the things that make you feel alive. And if you never had those things, start to find them. Life is really short, and your energy in this life is precious. Do not let anyone bring you down. When I tell you, I literally did not want to get out of bed today. I felt energetically depleted. That mental exhaustion from that emotional hangover was still there. And I took out my journal today and I just wrote down what I was going through. And the way that I even came up with the idea about this video was to connect with myself. This is an extremely you focused process, and you have to have your best interest at heart and at hand here. Every single day, you're going to have to wake up and ask yourself what is good for you and then act on it, especially when you're coming out of something where you gave more energy into. You now have to practice daily putting that energy back into yourself. And even though I miss that person, I miss being connected to them like we once were, I'm choosing to miss myself less. You heard me correct. I'm choosing to miss myself less because I'm going to show up for myself. And like I said before, the person who is meant for me, the people who are meant for you, will never require you to make that choice between them and yourself. And I just want to clarify that detaching and letting go doesn't mean having to cut someone off cold turkey or really just shut them out. I'm still in contact with that person. I'm still planning on keeping them as a friend in my life because I know I can do that. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes you do have to cut them off. Sometimes you can try to keep them around and it still doesn't work. But you know what? That is something that is going to be completely up to you, and time will reveal that for you. Regardless of whether you cut them off cold turkey, regardless of if you keep them in your life to some capacity, the real main focus is to choose to focus on what you need. Now, like I said to you in the beginning of this video, I feel very aligned with my energy. I feel like I'm in the process of reclaiming myself and my energy. And some signs that letting go is working for you is feeling more in tune with yourself. I feel like I got a huge piece of myself back, quite literally a piece, and also my peace. I'm also excited again about my plans and my goals and my routines, okay? I'm excited about waking up and doing my hair masks and my skincare and taking my showers and going to the gym. I'm excited about investing in me and becoming my best self. Releasing and letting go are not about having ill will toward that person. You can feel completely neutral towards them. You can even still have love for them and care about them, but it's about putting yourself first and letting go of the control that you are trying to attach to how they are showing up for you. I hope this video inspired some acceptance, some peace, some energy that you all need to reclaim yourself and to let go of the people and things that are no longer serving you and to gain yourself back as you let them go. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will be in your life. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you nothing but the best and all the blessings in the world. Let me know what else you want to see on this channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye.